Oh, the Russians are on the move. What is up, Kingsman? Welcome back to the battlefield. Today we have a 4v4. This one is a battle between the H&R clan and the Templars. So it's two very good players, or two teams that have really good players, I should say, facing up. Super excited to see this one. Some of my favorite factions on the field, Russia 9 and Russia-Austria 9. Actually, I love playing both of these factions on the coalition side. And of course, you have Austria 10, which I have more recently dabbled into, and I'm excited to see them on the field today as well. You know, bring in plenty of nice, chunky infantry, some of that beautiful cav that, you know, they can definitely bring. Then, of course, there's also an 8-point UK, which, if I were to play a UK, guys, I would bring this kind of an army. Look at this. It's like the light brigade, the light division. They have Toros, some foot guards, and they have green rascals, and then, like, some more light infantry here. So they have brought probably a very fun, it's a small build, but a very fun build, as well as the tabs. So like a hussar unit, very crazy good stats on this cav unit. So they will be kind of like a small striking arm, super effective on their own unless they get overwhelmed, of course, by the French. But it doesn't look like the French are really actually going to focus them down. They seem to be going straight down this way. You can see all along here they have, you know, there's 3 French and 1 Polish army. Probably should start off with that on the French side. I don't know any of the other French armies. No, excuse me, man. I think that, or something, I don't know. But yeah, no, we have the 3 French generals here, with, looks like some cav scouting here, but it does look like they are falling back in this tree line. So the 9-point Russia has brought quite a lengthy bunch of cav. Pretty sure I'm not using those words right, but you can see there, they have some Cuirassiers here, some Dragoons, and then I believe, actually Russia-Austria also has a bunch of cav. You see they have more heavies. They even have a cavalry guard, one of my favorite heavy cav units on the Russia-Austria roster. Very deadly. And of course, they also have another Cuirassier. So about what? 4 heavy cav so far. I don't think Austria brought any, but that's going to spell a lot of death for the French unless they can counter it well. Now, of course, we do not know what the French are going to bring. But looking at the rest of the Russia-Austria, they have, I believe, 2 guard units way up in the front here. And I say it every time, and I will always say it, I love the guard Russian uniforms. They just look so good with the gold and the red and green. Just always puts a smile on my face. And then they have, I believe, some Austrian lines, have some decent shooting stats in them. And that's about it for their actual infantry. So, you know, depending on the cavalry, they're depending on Russian 9, who also has guard units. More amazing guard units. Who is bringing probably a lot more bulk to their army. They can bring some Prussian light infantry that has actually got some crazy good stats when it comes to shooting. And I believe they also have some light infantry here as well. And then here's, like I said, more Prussians and Russians mixed up here. Now for the 10-point Austria, I'm just seeing a lot of just regular line infantry. They have some Deutschmeister. Those are pretty good units. They have 3 of them. Usually that's a no-brainer. I feel like you got to bring at least 1 or 2 of those. Just real good backbone of your army. Now for the French, what we're starting to see here, we've seen, of course, some Chasseurs Cheval, some Dragoons, more Chasseurs Cheval. Let's see what generals they have. Looks like maybe Murat's on the field. That could mean a lot of cavalry. I can't remember which army that general staff is from. But for those of you who probably do know, you know, your armies, well, now you know. You saw the generals. Make your guesses as to the points now. How good of a player are you in NTW3? I'm just kidding. But yeah, a lot of Dragoons. I have not seen any heavy cav yet, but it will probably be hanging in the back. That's the thing about heavy cav. You don't want to have it up front. Anybody that has their heavy cav up front, they're sending their troops in blind. That is madness. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it back, away from the artillery, away from anything that could damage your delicate yet deadly cav. but it does look like we may have a sapper deployment of stakes, so maybe France is going to hold this side. Holding just at the cusp, just at the break in the trees, like this clearing here. And it looks like they have some skirmishers set up, so they're prepared to fight here just a little bit here. Oh, the Swiss skirms. I'm just checking out because I'm painting figures, you know. So I'm doing the Voltigeurs, the skirmishers, the Swiss skirmishers. So I would love to see more of them. I'm sure we will. Oh, interesting. So we have the French, which probably they're very aware of the fact that the UK are over here. They're trying to drive a wedge in between the Austrians and the UK, and guess who has more Swiss in their lines? Oh man, very nice. Pushed up with some nice chunky units. Austria's gonna have to be a little bit defensive here. They have the Deutschmeister out in front. We have some, maybe some a Grenadier, Cavaliers, something like that. But France is definitely taking a gamble here because they could get hit from two sides at once. I honestly don't know much about this French army. I don't know which one it is and if they can even form a lot of squares. But if the Russians try pushing a little bit on them, you never know. Russia, Austria, and Russia are still pushing into this tree line. This is definitely going to hamper a lot of movement for them. This could actually work out very well for the French. If the two Russias get caught in the forest, the French attack over here, issuing out, they could actually destroy maybe Austria, because it looks like Austria is still setting up. Just a lot of maneuvering happening here. I don't want to miss any of it, though. Wait, did they die to, like, musket bullets? How would you guys die? Who? Oh, artillery was firing, I bet, and glanced through them to hit this UK. I bet you that's what it is. But you can see the UK, yeah, they're getting hit. Oh, there's the horse artillery from the Polish. Just brazenly setting up and taking pot shots at the infantry here. I think I love those uniforms too. Look at these guys. I mean, they're horse artillery, so they got cavalry uniforms. Attention to detail. Looks like either 4-pounders, maybe 6-pounders. And we want to get back to this action here because it does look like we are getting deathly close to this Austrian line. France going straight into Austria's lines. Austria very seeming to be very willing to actually take this fight at this moment. I hear heavy. Oh, we got some dragoons setting up here as well. Oh my goodness, France is getting blasted here by the Deutschmeisters. We've barely taken a loss here yet. Oh my gosh, there's a heavy cav. Holy smokes. I love heavy cav charges. Go in, boys. Oh, they're dropping. But they smack into this Austrian line. These guys cannot form square. And honestly, I don't think this unit... Ooh. Still, Austria's going to be a bit of trouble because France looks like they're going straight for that melee over here too. Granted, they did take some losses. Austria, oh my goodness. The Deutschmeister are just executing the French. A rally is popped. More cavalry going in all of a sudden out of nowhere. I don't think Austria can actually shoot this. I don't know if they can actually shoot this, you know? But France gave a rally, and now they are going in as well. Oh my goodness, Austria is breaking a little bit, and the Deutschmeister didn't form square. More cavalry sent in to reinforce those Cuirassiers. As now the Austrians are going to send it. Oh my goodness, the UK are pushing up on the flank here as more cav starts pushing up. This Cuirassiers did finally break. This other French Dragoon unit did hit a lot of the Austrians, but Austria is able to set up some more lines. You see Austria, Russia setting up here with Russia prepping here as France went in. You can see that the UK actually have did an excellent job of breaking up this first French advance. So France did take some heavy losses here, losing one heavy cav unit, but so did Austria. Austria took some heavy losses there. I think they lost one of their Deutschmeisters, or maybe not. Still, though, you can see France, they are now falling back as the UK start pushing up here. You're pushing up the Green Rascals to get some of that super nice shooting. All these French Cavs have to start scrambling to get out of there. The French are falling back. They did a gamble, and that gamble unfortunately did not pay off for them. Oh yeah, more Swiss. Man, look how many Swiss I'm seeing on this field. Oh, what is happening here? Swiss skirmishers running away as they were maybe getting focused down here. I'm realizing my Swiss skirms that I had, actually, they have like a little, they don't have the tuft, like, plume. They have like just a small little circle on their helmet. France seems to have the work cut out for them. The factions that the coalition did. Ooh, we have actually a cav charge. Carabiniers going in. Now, of course, the Green Rascals are going to form a square here. That is going to hurt. Looks like they probably are going to fall back that heavy cav. Yeah, so definitely France has some very deadly heavy cav. They even have, looks like some elites. Holy cow, they have a lot of troops. A lot of elite troops, heavy cav. Whew. They are definitely starting to reveal what they do and don't have, as they are falling back. Oh, what's this unit? Lancers charging, and you can see the morale. I mean, they're holding fast. Still, oh, we have some Swiss cavalry that's trying to be defensive here. As France is falling back, Russia, you can see, start to push out of the tree line. But like I said, guys, very slow to get out of this tree line. It's going to take them a minute to actually get out and advance on the French, and it actually will give the French a chance to fall back. We're looking at the overall scope here. Austria and the UK pushing as hard as they can to try to break up as many of the retreating French units as possible. Remember that the Polish are pushing up here. We have not seen yet what they actually have. They may have a ton of cavalry. They may have a bunch of infantry in cav. Who knows? Maybe they have a Vistula Legion. That is a lot of French troops, though. This is a beautiful game still. Like, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful game. Oh, the French are holding here against the Russians and Russia-Austria, who's going to very willingly take a line fight just because they have a lot of really good shooters. This Russian army is definitely a shooting build. However, it's also a melee build, and here they go utilizing that. At least I would hope, maybe not. I'm not sure what they were waiting for. Maybe they were waiting. Seeing the heavy cav is now pushing over. Oh, we do have the Polish over on this left flank. So they sent their general over here, but sent their infantry over here. Oh, we do have a Russian bayonet charge. Sending in this. I don't know what I would. It's light Russian infantry. It's not melee capable. I'm not sure if that was a misclick or if they thought they could catch those skirmishers out and then get out of there with the fast-moving L4. Either way, they did lose, unfortunately, some of their light infantry. They have so many guard units, though. And these guard units can stand in a fight for a very long time. The Polish and Russians do get it out. This is a very, very real, what's the word? I'm losing my train of thought. There's too much happening. Gosh dang it, I can't keep track of everything, guys. But that was a beautiful charge by the Russian cavalry, Russian dragoons. Rivals, that's what I was looking for. Polish and Russians were rivals. At least prior to Napoleon's rise to power, Poland actually was being basically, it was quite a predicament. Russia and a bunch of other, you know, factions wanted to split up Poland. Probably not saying exactly right, but here we go. We got heavy cavalry guard and dragoons cycling in and out. France trying to decide how they're going to deal with this. They have cav to counter, and Poland is just stretching out their lines here. Maybe it's time to go for the melee. We do have, oh man, Russia's not going to give France a break. They are literally not going to give them a chance to do anything. The cav on both sides going in on France. The countercharge by the French, though, as well. Oh, man, look at this. The counter with the heavy Cuirassiers. This French army falling back against this Russian UK push. And this has turned into a mass battle. You see Russia did push up to get into melee here. French heavy cav taking on the cavalry guard. The Russian guard is pushing forward as well. This is looking to be a very, very... This may be a coalition victory just because of France getting hit so hard. The builds they brought are not the greatest. They're chunky, but they can't square in their morale. You know, 26,000 men that don't want to be there. Yes, some Swiss bravely trying to hold the line. Oh, man. Ooh, we have guard, though, in the front line, so they should help stop this onslaught. The Russian cavalry is definitely going to be a little bit exhausted. Cavalry guard, I think, pulled out, and they're resting up. We have other crossers, but they are exhausted at this point. Over on this side, Austria now charging in against the French. Can they form square? Nope. These guys can. And there's just so much beautiful forming of a square by the guard. So there is definitely some French guard here on the field. So much heavy cav massed up. Oh my goodness, the other Cuirassiers are charging in on the flank. There's just so much heavy cav. Poland is still pushing here. They got to put a lot more pressure, I think, than they have. They need to push this side up. I would start going for melee here. They're trying to fill up the center. This heavy cav for France definitely is being able to stop at least a little bit of this Russian push. There's some huge cavalry engagements here for sure. Now it's up to the guard to try to hold this right flank against the UK. This is not going to be an easy battle for France, even now. But they're using their cav quite well, the coalition is. Why is this unit way back here? Where did they come from? Man. Actually, Poland making a big old advance with the infantry. Going straight for a square here. They're pulling cavalry back. You can see Russia, Austria pushing up their guard units. The Swiss pushing up, being ordered to engage. Oh my, I'm not going to catch it all, guys. I'm just being real with you. I'm trying to, but it's not working. The UK sent in their tow rows to engage a guard square. The morale of France looking very, very shaky on this right flank. But France and Poland seem to have made quite the advance. However, the cavalry of Russia charging in. This feels like utter chaos. Poland is holding the musketeers and the rest of the Russians on this side. Horse artillery set up to help out, but you see Poland definitely made that flank. However, the cavalry, the thing now at this point, guys, is all the cavs has to be exhausted. They have to be. If you look at all this cavalry, it is exhausted. I mean, that stuff's fresh, but that's the general. Everything else is exhausted. It's not going to have a good charge. And you see Poland is actually breaking onto the side of this guard. Oh, they're point blank. Start shooting. Oh, here comes the cavalry, though, trying to save this flank. Squares on this flank as well, though. So things have kind of evened off just a little bit. Still, the UK are looking very good for this fight. Austria still has plenty of reserves. They were using their cav super effectively, breaking a ton of the French. Now, the French still have cavalry, heavy cav of their own. They're just going to have to choose wisely where they use it because the Russians have plenty of squares to meet them. Austria is honestly the one that you would have to watch out for. Russia's going to take a slightly less aggressive approach here. They're going to actually be a little more defensive maybe on this side. They can't afford to lose. As you can see, they're starting to break a little bit on this side. They can let this right flank do its work for them while falling back at the same time. What a battle, though. What a glorious battle. The death and destruction everywhere is a sight to behold. Look at the pile of bodies there. Have you ever seen something that cool? I mean, yes, it's technically hundreds and hundreds of men dead, but still. Back in the day, oh my gosh, that was a nice artillery shot. Yeah, sorry, it crashed right in the middle of me saying stuff about death and destruction being glorious. And it's like the game was like, Kingston, take the hit. No, we're back here. And like I said, I didn't notice this gun battery was here, but this gun is laying down some very, very deadly cannon shots on this guard. Man. A canister, a round shot, and the Austrians are rolling in here. This artillery piece probably doesn't have a whole lot of more. Oh man, they're still killing, but they're probably about to break. They're gonna get shot at by the tow rows. They're dead. I would run away too. It's okay, guys. Run away. I'm looking in the field now, guys. It does look like the Polish are pushing up on the Russians, who are constantly still falling back. But this right flank is just looking pretty bad. I mean, and the nice thing is for the coalition is they just have the UK just pushing up just enough to keep shooting. The French have nothing they can do. The French can't turn around and do anything because they'll get shot in the face by the UK. There are a few ways to kill the UK, but frontally charging them isn't the way, especially when they have these units with such amazing stats. I mean, if they have the Green Rascals in the flank, these guys can all form square. What are you going to do with it? Look how battered the French are right here. Unfortunately, for as well as they've played, it's being played out of their hands at this point. Now, of course, it does look like we have some Austrian cavalry shifting over, Polish lancers in the flank as well. We'll see what these Chevaliers and Lancers do. Austria is shifting over to help lessen the push that Poland has made on the Russians as they did throw back that Russian line. I mean, Austria has plenty of reserves. Austria has plenty of other reserves. You can see that it's just a slow and steady push that the UK and Austria is making on the French. And the French, I mean, eventually they're going to have to try to make a stand here. This guy. Oof. Oh no! This horse is like, you're coming with me, friend. You're coming with me. Now, the nice thing for the coalition is, I think they have, or not the coalition. The coalition doesn't have as much heavy cav. What they do have is resting way back here. But you can see the cavalry guard winded with 39 men left. This cross here, 86 men, pretty massive unit, but they are winded as well. So the heavy cav is not really there as much for the coalition anymore. They also do have another heavy cav unit of 73 men, so they still have plenty. I know the French still have their heavy, one or two at least of their heavies. And these guys are still falling back. They have Carabiniers, Cuirassiers. I think the Polish may be trying to hold this tree line, a little bit of protection afforded, you know. Oh, we have a horse artillery setting up, so maybe, just maybe, these guys are going to set up in a defensive position here to be able to start shooting, because you can see the Austrians, Russians advancing out of the woods. Poland falling back. They do have this LOC held, so that's a good anchor point. But the heavy cav doesn't have a lot of options when it comes to attacking the coalition anymore. I mean, Russia has so many squares. This Austria even has a square here, a square there, so only the two middle ones are non-squareable, and over here it's the same thing. This whole side is not squareable, but how would you know? There's no way to truly tell the enemy. You'd almost have to send an infantry first and then send the cav in behind so they can't form square on you. I'm curious if the Russians are going to try to take this house from the Imperials, and then that would give them another edge to push across. You can see they have a lot of infantry pushing down here. More guard, more Austrian lines. And there's the horse artillery for Poland. Gonna start shooting here. It's their only chance. It's like France is going to make their stand here. But like I said, guys, they are going to get chewed up. Okay, like let's just watch how fast these guys start firing. Well, they're moving again, but they'll stop. This guard in the center may actually be super helpful. We do have, it looks like, even more cavalry going in, killing some more Prussian or some Polish skirmishers. Like I said, we have this flank here held by some sappers. And looks like Poland is going to use that as their kind of left flank. You can see all the Russia-Austrian troops, heavy cav all swinging around the side. You see that the Imperials are going to try and hold this side with as much cav as possible. More cav going in. They did hit that square, but Austria is going to push up while the cav is going. And they're not going to break that artillery. But they are going to start executing any troops that push up even close. However, Austria, look at this. The guard is going up with heavy cav. This is a bad spot for Austria. Oh no. Yeah, Austria, they got a little too close. And now you have Austria getting hit super hard by guard units all along the line. France pops an Inspire. They send in more and more units. You can see the UK are pushing this flank, trying to shred up this line, and they're doing a beautiful job of it. More units have shifted over, trying to hold back the UK while France tries to make in. That's a little bit of Finland. A little fibbing this game. There we go, another heavy cav charge. Poland probably doesn't have anything to deal with that. They can send in their heavy cav though to counter this charge. I don't know how I feel about like charging against a unit and then immediately turning him to hit another unit. I don't know. Like that unit is still there. You can't just like I don't know the rules, what the rules would be on that. You can see Poland is sending in, committing their cavalry, and now Russia's going to charge. Now they're going to get charged in the back by more Lancers. So not going to be a very clean battle for them. Oh, their Cuirassiers did break. Oh, France did go for that melee, but I guarantee you they got shot in the face as they were pushing up. You know, it's unfortunate, but there's not a whole lot you can do. And looks like this is going to be a coalition victory. Someone was saying they're tired of seeing the French kind of get smacked around, and I would agree. You know, sometimes it does happen in quite a bit. I feel like I go through bursts where all you do is see French die, and then you go through points where the coalition die. However, the coalition definitely have gotten some upgrades, especially the UK. I wouldn't be surprised if the UK had a lot of kills. I don't know if I actually will have the results for this one. But if I were to guess, it looks like the French went for a mass build, which this may have been where the downfall happened. They went for mass instead of quality. I did see guard units in there, but a lot of the units were getting like charged with huge amounts of men left and then broken. And that was because of all the heavy cav the coalition brought. But I saw some mass routes from very large French units. There was a lot left. But a victory. And like I said, the UK, this UK build, it's a fun one because it is so easy to win with it. I'm not saying that there's not some skill by... I'm not trying to say that at all. They definitely played well. The coalition played very well, worked very well together, pushed that flank. And definitely the UK could have been destroyed if they'd been focused down, but they were kind of probably faster. I don't want to take credit away from where credit's due when it comes to like saying that the coalition played well. The build for the coalition, it was a very, very good build for being extremely aggressive.
Is soon to be yours.
And it was a very beautiful game. Very beautiful game. Like I said, hopefully someone sent results in for this. Someone sent me the replay, so I'm hoping I had messaged them to ask them if they had the results. So hopefully I'll have the results. If not, then I'll just go over this at least. But you can see sent in by the Austrian player who got some really crazy good kills. You can see all the heavy cav that was brought in. A lot of heavy cav. The Cuirassiers, Cavalry Guard, man. So much. And the infantry didn't get that many kills at all. Like this was strictly, it seems, all about the cav doing their work. Alright guys, so like I said, we have Melkor here as the UK with 2,065 kills. You have the 10-point Austria with 1,530. You have the 9 Russia Austria with 1,268. And the 9-point Russia with 1045. On the side, you have 521 for, I believe they sent me the points. Yeah, me pull this up. So you had 10-point Murat, that was the Valentin, with 521 for the kills. You have Perius as Udino, 11-pointer, with 686. You have Lipton with the Guard, 7-pointer. With 450, and then you have Jus with Poland, and he got 894. So definitely a lot more kills on the coalition. However, I'm gonna attribute part of that to just running down rounding troops. Still, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a very artistic battle. That's the best way to describe that. Still enjoyed. Hope you guys did as well. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. You have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and as always, I will catch you all in another video.